Welcome to RaceDay Nation. Hi, I'm Rob D'Amico. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening right here on Racing America. You're watching RaceDay Nation. You can find us on our website, RaceDayNation.com. Follow along on social at Rob D'Amico. That's ROBDAMICO. Also, make sure when you stop by our webpage, you sign up for our newsletter there. We do appreciate it, and it'll be we'll use that a lot more in the coming year, next year, and the next season because we're just kind of getting this thing rolling. Getting it on television and getting the production value up to the level it's supposed to be. If you would like to interact with the show, I got to remind you, you can email me at Rob D'Amico. I'm sorry. You can email me at rob@racedayNation.com. Okay? That's a great way to interact with the show. Got a question, want to, yell at me, that's fine too. I've had those emails quite often. Some from my wife, too, if you can imagine. But all good, man. Had a great weekend. I don't know about you. We got to go up to, before we get the show started, we'll talk about Vegas with the NASCAR Xfinity Series. The Cup guys were out in Vegas. We'll recap a little bit about F1. There's some F1 news going on right now that we want to hit. But I did get to go up to Chattanooga for the Motor Festival up there. Mecum auctions were up there. It was actually it went very well. I thought, I had a great time. We went up there last year and just a group of us and got to go hang out. We're buddies with Lynn St. James. So Lynn was there last year. This year, I think she was the grand poobah out there and the big marshal that they wanted to have out for the big event. So here she is, Lynn St. James. She's I'm a super fan of hers, man. She's awesome to hang around. And I got to hang out with her, go out to dinner with her, which was awesome. Her and a couple other guys as well. With the Big Green Egg. The Big Green Egg, we went out there and did some stuff. I'll show you some of those pictures because we got to go. We did a VRBO and got a house. And we did a photo shoot, some recipes, all this great stuff. So when you do that, you get to enjoy some of that food. I'm going to show you that here in a second. Some of the other guys I ran into, Wayne Carini. He was out there at the Chattanooga Motor Festival. Glad to see him. He's got some stuff going on behind the scenes, man. They're doing some things with Speed Vision and trying to come up with a few different things, which I thought was pretty interesting. We'll see how all that plays out. But you can keep it locked here. I'm sure when news breaks about it, we'll be able to talk about it here on the show. What I thought was really cool was the car shows we got to see up there. They had the concourse. They had the car clubs in the show. They also had the race track out there, which they changed this year. If you haven't seen it, go online. There's plenty of pictures there. But they also had the concourse de Le Mans. All the lemon cars out there. Well, they were there as well. But this was one of the ones I found very interesting. And I got to show you this one. Look at this thing. It's a 1986 Pontiac Fiero, which they created a Fiero SE, which they created a Ferrari 308 replica kit car. And it's really damn close. You really have to look at it to find out what kind of car it is. One on this one, there's a couple different versions. One on this one, you can see the wheels. They have a better wheel package that kind of hides that. But once you hit the interior of the car and you heard the door shut, you could tell it was a Pontiac for sure. There was no doubt. But it was pretty cool to see. Some other cars out there as well. I did have, we did that all through the weekend. That was the Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Came back to Atlanta. Got to go to the car show at Chastain Park here in Atlanta, which is second annual, which it does raises money for the park. It's a big park here. You see a lot of concerts here as well. But that car show went very well, and I want to show you some of the footage from that car show. So check this out. This was just a few of the cars, Porsche 911 and Aston Martin there. We had some of our my car club out there, the Dunwoody Driving Club. You see McLaren. We had our Rolls Royce out there, a couple of Porsches. We also brought out there's a Lamborghini. We also brought out a Ferrari Roma, which is really nice because that's a brand new car. You can see the R3 there, or is that there's the Lamborghini. That's a badass car there. McLaren, our friends from Butler Tyler were out there as well. And you're going to see here on the right here inside this left-hand side, this yellow car coming up. That is a Maserati MC20. Really cool car. And then we got some more AMGs coming up. That right there, an 812 Ferrari, pretty cool to see. And if you go to the left here, you'll see it. We had all these AMGs lined up, which was really cool to see. These are nice cars, man. They're just classy looking, but fast, and they sound mean. A couple Audis out there as well, but had a good time by everybody out there. So congratulations to Chastain Park. Thank you for the Dunwoody Driving Club for coming out there. What we have on the docket today is some racing stuff from Vegas with the NASCAR Cup Series and the Xfinity Series, how the points all laid out at the end of this. We had some fights going on, not only in NASCAR, but in some late model stuff we'll get to talk about here in a little bit. We also heard news from Kurt Busch, some saying it's not really a retirement. It's more of an announcement that he is backing down from full-time racing. We're going to get into that here in a second as well, but I do I'll play a clip. Listen, I'll take a break here. I'll play a clip when we come back. We're going to get into the Kurt Busch deal. What are your thoughts, health-wise, his future, things like that? And then we'll break down the results, the points, all that great stuff from all this weekend's racing. I'm Rob D'Amico. This is RaceDay Nation. Stick around. There's more to come. Welcome back. It's RaceDay Nation. A lot going on this weekend, as I mentioned. In Vegas, we had the Cup Series guys. We also had the Xfinity Series. We're going to get into all that with the points, what the results were, who won the race, what happened during those races, because there's a lot of drama going on, and I want to get into that as well. But real quick, before we go any further, you know this show is brought to you by Rhino Classified. Sell fast and list for free at rhino.co. Appreciate those guys coming on board. And, man, we got a lot to talk about here. But I think the big news of this week was Kurt Busch coming out and saying his retirement, and I don't want to say being forced into retirement, maybe a little bit early, because, listen, this was about to happen at the end of this year with his contracts and everything going on with 2311, the Tyler Reddick stuff. Then he got in that wreck at Pocono, backed it up into the wall, got the concussion, has not been back to 100% yet. And here he is at Las Vegas, by the way, his home. This is where he started racing and all that stuff. So a real good look at, going back home and being able to have this press conference. Here he is. Let's go into the press room and listen to Kurt Busch make the announcement of his early retirement.
First of all, it's great to see all of you here. NASCAR family, it's my village, and it's just great to be part of everything back and being here in person. 28 years ago, I stood here in this area of the desert, literally, and took a glamour shot with my first race car that I built with my dad and my family. And racing's all I've ever known. My passion, my work ethic, and my persistence has helped me reach all the dreams that a kid could dream of. There's not one reason why, or one person or one circumstance that has made a stronger difference than another. It's taken everything and everyone. With that said, I know I'm not 100% in my ability to go out and race at the top level of the NASCAR Cup Series. These are the best of the best drivers, and lately I haven't felt my best.
Man, that's got to be tough to sit up there, and you can hear it in his voice that he's, upset about this. He's got to make this announcement. It's definitely premature because this is one of those things that if you didn't get hurt, he had some options out there that he could possibly take. But now with being injured, doesn't know if he's going to be able to get back. Now he has talked about doing some part-time stuff when he gets healthy. Let's continue hearing from Kurt in the press box here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
The doctors have come to the conclusion that it's best for me to shut it down for this season. And even though I've made solid gains and I've been working with all the top specialists and the team at Toyota Performance Center, I'm still not 100% and I'm still not cleared to race. As I continue to focus on my health towards being cleared, I'll be stepping away from full-time NASCAR Cup Series competition in 2023. My long-term health is priority number one, and I don't feel committing at this point to compete for a championship next year is in my best interest or the best interest of the team.
Yeah, man, just difficult. You think about, he mentioned it, 28 years. You've been doing this. You started here at this venue as a kid, trying to make it in. And remember, when he was back in the day, when he talked about his brother coming up in here, a lot of these guys talked about how well Kyle was going to be. And Kyle came out and has gone with 2 championships and has really, done a great job. But here, his brother getting in that wreck, now having to, look at this as a forced retirement. Now, he's not saying the word retire because he is going to come back. He is going to work for the team. He is going to be doing other things. So let's keep our eye out on this and what he feels like moving forward. And listen, this is kind of out of his control. And I want to make, let's see here. Hold on. I'm sorry. We had, I'm trying to upload this thing so you guys can watch it here, but it's not allowing me to do that at the moment. So let me see if I can get this to do it again. But he mentions, hey, maybe there's some other things I'm going to do. We'll hear him talk about some bucket list stuff he wants to do. So that's all on the horizon with Kurt moving forward. So we'll keep our eye on that. And just to see what we, listen, Toyota wants him. I'm sure Monster wants him. This is not how you want a champion to go out. You'd like to have it on your terms. I want to continue this conversation because it's a big one. Because listen, nobody wants to be in this boat to say, I got to retire. I got hit. I'm not right. I'm not 100%. If I'm going to go out there and compete, I got to be at 100%. He can't do that right now. So this is the announcement he was forced to make. Now, I do think there's a little bit of play in here with the Tyler Reddick announcement being made so early, what 2311 wants to do with the younger drivers and bring some guys up and have an opportunity to race for wins and championships. And I'm not saying they couldn't do that with Kurt or with Bubba. We'll get into Bubba here in a second because that's a whole nother subject that we're going to get into here in a minute. Let me take this break. When we come back, we got more Kurt Busch in the press box talking about this retirement coming up. So stick around. I'm Rob D'Amico. This is RaceDay Nation. Sorry about scrambling in that last segment there, but I had a lot going on behind the scenes that you guys don't see. I am doing the show, producing it, running it, everything from these 2 hands right here at this desk. So whenever there's a technical difficulty going on, you can kind of tell. All right, let's see here. Welcome back to RaceDay Nation here on Racing America. We were talking about Kurt Busch, the announcement he made. We're going to go back to the press room and hear him talk about what they're going to do with the 45, what's going to happen moving forward. You got Ty Gibbs moving up. He's going to go over to Joe Gibbs Racing eventually. Where's some of those other guys going to fall in this Toyota camp? Is Toyota going to keep Kurt Busch? They don't want to give up. They don't want to give up all this stuff that he's learned over the years with Toyota and with for Monster for that matter, and have that sponsorship go somewhere else. They're going to try and keep him around to try and keep that money there, caress that relationship, bring another young driver in that he can pass that along to with Kurt's backing and all this. There's a lot of that stuff that goes on behind the scenes. But here he is finishing up his presser in the press room at Las Vegas.
I will continue to work with this group. I want to share my wisdom and knowledge and everything that I've gained with my unofficial PhD in this garage area. It deserves to stay with 2311. We're building something special here, and I look forward to continue to work with Bubba Wallace off the track, as well as Tyler Reddick, who will join the team next year to drive the number 45 Toyota.
Yep.
I'll continue to be a brand ambassador with Monster Energy, or my family. Our fraternity and sorority of athletes from around the world are the best of the best. Monster Energy and I have been together for over a decade, conquering the world and lifestyle in a can.
It was about to drink a little product placement there, which I thought was a little corny. You're making this thing. You just need to mention them. That's all you need to do. We all get it. The Coke thing, when you drink it on TV, they give some love to your charity and all that stuff. So I get it. Maybe there's a little of that, something of that going on behind the scenes. But then the press was opened up. The media was able to ask some questions. And some of the questions that were thrown around is like, okay, are you a little bit angry? Are you mad at the situation that this is out of your control. How does he feel about this being, listen, it is out of his control?
Yeah, I'm at peace where things are. I was close to the end of my contract, and that full drive for a championship run, I was real close to that anyhow. And so it just happened a little sooner. But to race part-time and to enjoy things with a little less pressure, I think that will help fulfill things and close that door. But to pursue a championship and to run 36 race weekends, week in, week out, it was getting tough for my body to go through it no matter what. And so this just changed the course just a little bit. But I'm happy with where things are, and my family with the race team, with Monster, with Toyota, there's going to be plenty of things to do to keep that passion alive and to write the final chapter.
Yeah, and I think that final chapter is going to be Kurt Busch working behind the scenes. And I'm going to ask here in a few minutes, we're going to take a break here. We come back, we're going to talk about the Cup results at Vegas. And we got some Xfinity results. Then I'll come back to Kurt, because Kurt mentions some stuff that he wants to do with his bucket list. What does he see this his future look like as a kind of behind the scenes kind of guy? Does he get picked up by another team maybe? And maybe there's a way that he brings some of that money somewhere else, and maybe he races with his brother over at RCR. You never know what can happen in the future. But I guarantee you, Kurt, it will be behind the wheel once again. Maybe NASCAR, maybe something else, sports car. He loves drag racing. Maybe it'll be at Le Mans, maybe doing something with the Project 96 car or 95, whatever it is that they're going to be doing over there with Chevy. Who knows? It's a possibility. Anything goes now that he's kind of sitting here and waiting to see what his future is going to be. We take a break. When we come back, we got Cup results from Vegas right here on RaceDay Nation. You're back to RaceDay Nation. Hi, Rob D'Amico here. And we were talking about before the break, with Kurt Busch, everything going on there at Vegas. But the big race, obviously, was the Cup race that was out there this weekend as well. We did have the Xfinity. I'll get into that in the next segment. But I want to run down the results of the Cup race here. Because, listen, it's that mile-and-a-half track. They got a great infield. It's great for the race fans. You saw a great crowd out there. But the big thing was the Cup race this weekend. A lot on the line for these guys. It kicks off their this last round of 3 before they get to Phoenix, and this is where they kick down the guys from 8 to 4 drivers that go head-to-head out at Phoenix. So let's take a look at the results after Vegas. We had Joey Logano get to victory lane with a great battle with Ross Chastain, which I thought was pretty good. Ross did a great job, was a strong car throughout the day. Towards the end there, he was really battling. I thought, man, he's got something to pull off here. He could be one of the guys heading to the Final Four, I should say the Championship 4. And unfortunate for him, Joey Logano had a fast car. He had a hot rod there at the end of that race and was able to track him down and get the pass on him with a few laps to go and go get that victory. So congratulations again to Joey Logano getting the win. Then it was Ross Chastain, as I mentioned. Kyle Busch, he had a little battle there at the end too, put it in the wall on that final 4th turn coming to the checker. Chase Briscoe, a great day for him. One of those guys that it's in the bottom 4 right now. Denny Hamlin, another one, had a great day for him. Tyler Reddick, not in there, but man, with the announcement that he's going to the 45, able to show that, man, he can get the job done. Martin Truex Jr., who hasn't really been focused on anything, but it seemed to have a fast car out here. Eric Jones doing well. AJ Allmendinger, another guy, just amazing. Austin Dillon, you don't usually see Austin in the top 10, but was able to get a top 10 finish here, so congratulations to him. Some of the other guys I want to make mention with the stage wins and all that. You had, I think it was Bubba Wallace getting stage 1, and then it was Ryan Blaney with stage 2. Some of those guys had some issues. Now, the big thing that happened was the incident between Bubba Wallace and Kyle Larson, which then ultimately took out a chase driver, a championship driver there with the playoffs in Christopher Bell. So very unfortunate for him. So what happened here, they come out of turn 4. They're coming down. You have Bubba Wallace, Kevin Harvick, and then Kyle Larson has a run I mean, has a run, and he's like, all right, I'm going to drive this one in deep, come down low. What does Kevin Harvick do? Smart dude. Backs off just a little bit, lets Kyle get up in there. Kyle then has that speed, is getting pushed up the track. And as he's getting pushed up the track, what happens? He leaves very, and I mean very little room for Bubba Wallace to get up there, which then pinches him up into the wall. He gets pissed off. Retaliation comes as he comes back down the track. He actually accelerates, and they show this on television, that his throttle goes full throttle, and he basically puts his left fender into the right rear of Kyle Larson, sending both of them out into the wall at about 162 miles an hour. Very unfortunate for those guys. That retaliation at that speed should not happen. Listen, did Kyle not give you room? Yes, he did not give you room, Bubba. You should be pissed off about that. And you can take care of that at the end of the race. At that point, I don't think your car was that damaged. Or maybe it was, but you still had an opportunity to get back out there, get those points, help your team get to that manufacturer's championship. And you're speaking of that manufacturer's championship because that was the reason you got put in this car, the reason everything got turned around. And you know, you have Ty Gibbs in your 23. So this thing got blown out way out of proportion. Was trying to go. And then with Christopher Bell being taken out, you just took out a contender for the playoffs that is in your manufacturer's camp. Not a good day if you're Bubba Wallace. I'm sure Toyota had some words to say. I'm sure 2311 had some words to say. And I'm sure Hendrick is calling up Denny Hamlin and going, hey, bud, what gives here? Can't we work all this out after the fact instead of crashing a bunch of cars? So I can see on all sides of this why everybody was pissed off after that race. So my question to you is, and you can follow up with either on social at Rob D'Amico, it's ROBDAMICO on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that great stuff. Or you can email me, rob@racedaynation.com. I want to hear from you. We'll talk about this next week on the show. I'll show some of the results of what people are saying, but very difficult situation. I don't want to take away from Joey Logano getting the win, putting himself into the championship for heading into Phoenix. Now he basically, and I won't say has the next 2 weeks off, but he's guaranteed a spot in that championship for. Here he is in the press box talking about his victory. Oh, hang on here.
Yeah, Ross and I have a great relationship. I've talked with him a lot, and we have a mutual understanding of how each other races, and honestly, we work together pretty well on the racetrack. And I knew coming down to the end, I had a tire advantage, and I knew, I mean, what was on the line, right? It's a championship, a possible championship on the line right now, and I thought, boy, he's gonna be willing to do a lot to get in.
It's
and
Ross Chastain.
My thoughts were, I need to make sure I am 100% positive that when I break the plane of his bumper, I am going to pass him, and don't give him a chance to door bang me down the straightaways or do anything, because I knew it was on the line. People are willing to do a lot of things when they're desperate, and when it's a chance like that, that's what the playoff does. The playoffs test your character all the way through, and with the car that I had, I knew I had to be patient and make sure that when I was able to get the run on him, it was going to be good enough to where I can clear him, and I didn't have to worry about him. And that's ultimately what happened. I waited for that chance and took advantage of it in the one.
I mean, he explained it very well. Listen, you're racing Ross Chastain. You know all hell could break loose when you're dealing with Ross Chastain, right? He's a very aggressive driver, and he's right. He's got a championship 4 spot on the line. He can taste it. He is almost there. He is ready for that victory, and he is ready to go and get that spot. Unfortunately, here comes Joey Logano, and next thing you know, you're being passed. Of course, he did a great job of trying to block him. He did a great job of trying to create the dirty air to slow Joey down. But once Joey got around him, and Joey said, once I got that fender clear, I knew I was able to go and get the win after that. Okay, we got more from Joey Logano coming up. I'm also going to do the Xfinity results as well. It's all coming up next right here on RaceDay Nation. Stick around. As I mentioned, the Cup Series was not the only series racing at Vegas. You also had the Xfinity Series. Welcome back. It's Race Day Nation. I'm Rob D'Amico. You're watching us here on Racing America. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. Have any questions, you could visit our website, racedaynation.com. Sign up for our newsletter. Send me an email, rob@racedaynation.com. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that great stuff, at Rob D'Amico. It's ROBDAMICO. All right. The Xfinity Series was also in Vegas. We saw some great racing going on there. We know Haley Deegan was in the race. She was able to get a top 13 finish on her debut. Congratulations to her. You know, she's really trying hard. And I should say her dad is really trying hard, kind of pushing the efforts to get her moved up. And I don't know if she's ready yet. You know, we always hear these people, you know, wanting to get up to the next level, wanting to do this. And, you know, 13th, great. It was awesome. It is 1.5 miles. We do have short tracks. We do have road courses. These are bigger cars. There's more horsepower. There's more, you know, there's more on the line. Sponsors got to come along with you. They got to believe in you. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes than to just say, hey, let's put my daughter up in the Xfinity Series. It's going to be awesome. She's great. This, that. No, there's a lot of connecting pieces that need, in parts to that puzzle that need to be done before you can get up there. But again, props to her, 13th place in her debut. That's pretty spectacular. Great job on her part. Now, I do want to talk about the racing because there were some things on the line here as well with the playoffs. So let's look at it. Josh Berry was the winner. Congratulations to him. Noah Gragson was second. Justin Allgaier was third. Ty Gibbs was fourth. Trevor Bayne was fifth. Austin Hill, sixth. Sam Mayer, seventh. Daniel Hemrick was eighth. Ninth was Brandon Jones and Anthony Alfredo in the top 10 there. Congratulations to those guys. I haven't heard Anthony's name up there in a while. And the kid could drive his car. I just don't know if he has the exact equipment he needs to be at that level. We'll see how it all plays out. But I want to get into the results on the point side of things, but we're going to save that for another segment. Right now, I do want to take you into the media center where Josh Berry was talking about his win here.
Yeah, it's, I mean, just truly really, really special. You know, when I started on this journey and figured out and found out I was going to run full time this year, we all sat down at the beginning of the year and said that our goal was to make the championship four. We felt like we were capable of that. We knew what we could do. We knew there would be bumps along the road in my first full season, but we believed in our hearts that we could be at Phoenix. And to accomplish a goal like that, you know, it's just really hard to put into words what that really means when you work day in and day out to be at this level and be better each and every day. To be able to accomplish something like that is truly amazing. And you know, there's still a lot of work ahead of us. So you know, we want to get 3 other junior motorsports cars to Phoenix.
Good luck.
And we want to get ready to go to Phoenix and have the opportunity to go win a championship.
You know, it sounds great on paper and it looks good. You know, back in the day when I think it was Roush Racing, they were able to get 5 cars into the championship top 10, which is really cool, right? But yeah, to get all 4 in there, it's really going to be hard to do. I still think you're going to have Ty Gibbs in there. I would still love to see AJ Allmendinger, who deserves a spot in that final 4. He would mix it up at Phoenix and really give these guys a run for their money. But I was a little disappointed on the results that he had at this race. Unfortunately, some tire issues took him out. Let's go back to Josh in the media center talking about what he's going to do for the next 2 weeks.
You know, it's a great feeling, right? I mean, everybody, this is the home run when you come start this round of 8 to come win the first race. Give yourself, you know, 2 weeks to prepare for Phoenix. You know, it's just a great opportunity, and I'll let the rest of those guys figure out how they get in because I'm already in.
I'll leave it up to you guys. I got the next 2 weeks off, basically. I'm going to get some nice sleep, a couple good meals. We'll, you know, just to be able to relax, go to the track, know when I'm getting ready to Phoenix. I'll study up on Phoenix. Yeah. He's got it made. There's no doubt about that. He is one of championship 4 heading to Phoenix. Congratulations to him, the team, and everybody involved. All right, we take a break. When we come back, we're going to run down the points for NASCAR Cup Series. We still got some more audio from Kurt Busch, And we also have some Xfinity points, and we're going to take a look at those points coming up here in the next segment. So stick around. I'm Rob D'Amico. This is RaceDay Nation. Hope you're enjoying the show. I know I am each and every week right here. Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern time is where you can find it. That's when we air and broadcast the show. It does repeat. So if you're catching one of the reruns, that's fine as well. But you can also get us on our website, RaceDayNation.com. You're going to see some great news and rumors, some stuff up there from TobyChristie.com. And if you want to see the Chandler Smith fight in the late model stuff, you got to go check out RaceDayNation.com. Scroll down to the Toby Christie area there, and you'll see it. It'll say Chandler Smith on there. You can click that, and they have a video there from Twitter. Let's see. Welcome back to RaceDay Nation. I'm Rob D'Amico. You can follow along with me at Rob D'Amico. It's ROBDAMICO. And we were talking about points. I'm going to hit the real quick, the Xfinity points first, because I do want to talk about the Cup Series stuff coming up. But we were talking about Josh moving in. He gets that top spot with that win. Noah Gragson is second, 44 points to the good. Ty Gibbs is 25 points to the good. Justin Allgaier, again, 15 points to the good. So you have Junior Motorsports, a Joe Gibbs Racing, and then a Junior Motorsports. What I would like to see in there is the guy that fell. He's now the second guy. He's 16 points down, is AJ Allmendinger, to get up in there. I don't want to knock Justin out, but I would love to see a guy like AJ Allmendinger up there instead of Justin Allgaier. So just personal preference here. That's all I'm saying. And I think that's, something I think personally would put on a great final championship for would be Josh Berry, Noah Gragson, Ty Gibbs, and AJ Allmendinger. So you can see the bottom four right now is Austin Hill, 15 points back. AJ Allmendinger, 16 points. Brandon Jones, 27. I really don't see much thing. And then that's a typo there. But Sam Mayer back as well. The other guys were the last round that was taken out. So what does that do for the Cup Series points? We've seen all the drama that happened, and with Christopher Bell getting involved with the Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson deal. And I got to be honest with you, to say that wasn't retaliation is ridiculous. I know Bubba came out with a statement saying there was something broken in his steering. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's what it was. And telemetry does not show that whatsoever. But here we are. We'll have to see what happens here. Now, this show is recorded. I know Tuesday's usually the day, but the show is recorded before that Tuesday where NASCAR usually drops the hammer. So that's where this gets a little tricky. But I do expect something to happen there, because the retaliation and knowing what these cars are doing to these drivers and the danger that it brings to the table right now, the way backing these cars up into the wall, that no time to do that. You're messing around with a ticking time bomb, and that's not what you want to do. All right, so let's take a look at the Cup points here. Joey Logano with that win. Congratulations to him. Ross Chastain second. He's plus 18 points. Chase Elliott, who had a crappy day, sitting there 17 points to the good. He should be one of those guys in that championship four, but I got to be honest with you. If he has days like he had at Vegas, it's not going to be good for him. He's really got to – and listen, when they go to Homestead Miami Speedway, that is a track about the driver. Yes, you have to have that car, and they struggled with that car all day long yesterday. On Sunday. But these guys here need to get some stuff done and need to be able to put something together at Homestead Miami Speedway. I think, he's a driver that can get the job done, because that track is very loose. We'll get into that in the last segment. So you have Chase Elliott, and then Denny Hamlin, he is plus 6. And then minus 6, William Byron. Chase Briscoe is minus 9. Had a great day, but still below that cut line. Ryan Blaney, another guy, crashed out. Unfortunately for him, he's 11 points back now. And then Christopher Bell getting involved in that with another Toyota driver, back 23 points. You can almost count him out unless he throws that Hail Mary like he did to get into the next round, into this round of 8. So that'll be interesting to see how all that plays out. I do have a clip here of Joey Logano, him being the points leader, him moving on. And he was asked about how come it's every other year you seem to make the playoffs. Here he is talking about that.
I feel like we've had a good shot every year in all the races. I feel like we've done a great job as a team executing the playoffs and getting to the round of 8, now to the championship 4. We've done a good job getting there. Now it's just down to one race. And Phoenix is one of our best racetracks. It's one of Paul's best racetracks by history. And we'll hopefully bring a really fast Shell Pennzoil Mustang out there, and we got a few weeks to think about it, which is nice. We'll be able to focus in. I've lived this story before, winning at Martinsville, and being able to give yourself a bit of an advantage when you get to Phoenix, when that's all you care about and all you think about for the next couple of weeks, where everybody else is fighting, tooth and nail to get in. We're able to really focus in on the one race that counts for us now. So super proud of this race team and everybody to give me the opportunity as a driver to go out there and do my job. So it all worked.
It sure did. And congratulations to you with that win, now in the championship for being able to go after that championship. We'll take a break. We come back. We got more from Kurt Busch. We'll hear from Joey Logano, and still a lot more to come, news and rumors on this show as well. Stick around. I'm Rob D'Amico. This is RaceDay Nation. Man, I got to tell you, we have a lot on this show, and I'm probably not going to get to it all. It's unfortunate for you, but fortunate for us, I guess, because there's a lot going on, a lot of drama in the world of racing. So I want to go back in. Welcome back. RaceDay Nation right here on Racing America. Find us on our website, racedaynation.com. All other podcasts are up there, news, rumors, all that great stuff, because I might not be able to get to all the news and rumors today. There's a lot going on. I want to get back into the media center where Joey Logano was talking about going after that second championship. Here he is.
I mean, it obviously means a lot. I guess, you're going to ask me what's it mean to be a 3-time champion if we win in Phoenix, and I'm going to say it means the same amount. Like, it's just the goal. I mean, that's all that matters when the season starts. All I care about is winning a championship. That's the number one goal. And when you go through these playoffs, you have to change the way you race. You have to do different things to give yourself a chance to win the big goal. The mission is to win the championship, and it's everything. Like this is what we work for. Is there's only one, and it means a lot to have that. And we've been in position. I think of the one we won, but I think of the 4 or 3 we lost. is much or more how close we were. Even the last one in 2020 in Phoenix, coming off pit road as the leader and getting a tire vibration in the last run, right, and falling back to 3rd or 4th. Like there's a one that's going to hurt for a while. I still get mad about that. So I'm hoping that this is a redemption for 2020.
No kid, I would be mad about it as well. But seriously, it seems like every other year this guy seems to make the playoffs. And congratulations to him. Listen, if you only have those opportunities to make the best of them, like you said, the ones that got away really hurt. Those really hurt. And that's, very unfortunate for him. But hopefully he can make something out of it. All right. I also want to go back to Kurt Busch, because there was a couple things I was mentioning it with the Kyle Larson and Bubba Wallace deal about the car being dangerous. A lot of work needs to be done on that back end. A lot of discussion with drivers. NASCAR met with the drivers. We talked about that in the last couple of weeks of the shows. But here is Kurt talking about, he was asked, do you blame this new car for what has happened to you with the injuries that you have going on right now, and then the announcement that he just came out with? Listen to this.
Again, there's not one moment or one circumstance that has led to this decision. It's a layer of things. And, to be frank and to smile a little bit, I've wrecked a lot of shit in my life. Old cars, new cars. And so over the years, things add up. And, different wrecks this year have made it tough in the grind to get back each week to 100%. That was starting to get tough this summer. And then with the accident at Pocono, it's again part of everything that's kind of added up. It's not one circumstance more than the other. And the new car, this next-gen car, we have to continue to make it safer. We have to learn from each of the circumstances, whether it's mine, whether it's Chastain's, whether it's Bowman's, whether it's Cody Ware. There's been a ton of hits that we're all learning from and finding the areas that we need to improve. And so this is more of a look out the windshield type moment.
Yeah, I would agree. Can you blame the car? Listen, racing's inherently dangerous, and we know that. So just keep that in the back of your mind. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to close out the show, and I got some more audio coming up. So stick around for that. I'm Rob D'Amico. This is RaceDay Nation. All right, it's that time to close out the show. And, man, we were tight on time today. So I'm going to get some of the news and rumors here going on. First of all, I got to give a shout-out to Ed Rowland of Collective Soul. He came out to the car show at Chastain Park here in Atlanta with our Dunwoody Driving Club and some of the other clubs from around the Atlanta area, doing some good in the neighborhood. So congratulations to him. Got to meet him out there. Congrats. Being out there and having a good time and just enjoying it. Met his wife, Michaelina. Great event. Absolutely loved it. Now, quick news and rumors here. McLaren is going to give these guys a test. Alex Palou and Pato O'Ward. One's going to run on October 21, and then the other one's going to run on November 18th. So keep an eye on that. They made the announcement on Twitter, as you can see. Just some news and rumors here that Alex Palou and Patrick O'Ward will drive the McLaren F1 in free practice #1 sessions at the USGP in Abu Dhabi. So congrats to those guys. Also, some things that were announced on Twitter from Jenna Fryer. Gene Haas on a pre-race grid says he would like to give Cole Custer another year to prove himself, but Tony Stewart prefers Rayn Preece. And they've got to carefully consider who they will put in the car because he anticipates losing Harvick and Eric Almirola at the end of 2023. So a lot going on behind the scenes. Also, a full-time ride in IndyCar is for Santino Ferrucci. Congrats to him. He's going to go drive the number 14 AJ Foyt ride Chevy over there. So congrats to those guys as well. And Colton Herta, we've talked about him on the show before about getting that super license. It does not look likely that is going to happen, unfortunately for him, and not going to be able to make that jump into the F1, at least not at this point. And no big news on the Andretti stuff either. I don't see that happening, unfortunately, even with 3 races here in the U.S. with Vegas, Austin, which they go to next weekend, and the Miami GP. So, all right, that is it for the show. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget, next week, F1 will be at the USGP in Austin. You will also have NASCAR racing at Homestead Miami Speedway. Don't forget, check us out on our website, RaceDayNation.com. I'm Rob D'Amico. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.